Hey guys, this is Brendon for Tap Rack Bang. Today we're going to talk about how combat accuracy is a poor cop-out when you're having a bad range day. There's definitely different ways to measure accuracy out there. In TRB, we measure it in two ways. When you have limited time and when you have unlimited time, okay? So this is how you can test yourself if you have attained a good fundamental when it comes to pistol shooting, right? So given a limited time, are you able to put all your rounds in this little square right here, right? To a point where each round is touching. In 5 rounds, unlimited time, all on your own, can you make all the shots in here, okay? That is one way to measure accuracy, right? But that's only half the battle. Because what people call quote-unquote combat accuracy is if they're anywhere here in the A zone, right? Now there's obviously 2 A zones here. There's one with extended and one smaller one. Whatever that may be, combat accuracy is within the A zone, but there's a caveat to that. There has to be limited time, right? Because given unlimited time and your shots are all over this A zone, then that's also not accuracy. That's what you call bad fundamentals. The reason combat accuracy, or quote-unquote combat accuracy, is a cop-out, because when we see students, when we give them unlimited time to hit a target, they would have the shots all around this target. By the way, combat accuracy is not anywhere in the target. It's in the A zone, okay, from our point of view. So scratch that first excuse, right? The second excuse why that's bad is because most of the time we ask the students to aim at a specific spot. And what would end up happening is they would hit at a different spot, albeit still in the A zone or sometimes a little bit further out, okay? Now, in a class where there's zero stress and they're attempting to shoot the target in the middle and they fail to do that with limited time, that's bad practice, okay? Now, to ensure that your practice is relative to our real world scenario, like I said, give yourself unlimited time, make all the hits here, and give yourself limited time, right? And make your hits all in the A zone, okay? Now, as you get better, the times on the A zone get shorter and shorter and shorter, and then eventually you'll get to a point where you are at a max time where you can shoot the gun, and then at that point in time, the accuracy now gets increased too, because believe it or not, there's shooters out there that could probably hit this with 5 rounds in less than 2 seconds. So the point of this is that combat accuracy isn't an excuse. It is something that you need to attain via good training. Let's talk about real world liabilities, right? So let's start with how tight are your groupings, okay? So if you're this tight, you're within the A zone, right, with less stress, there's a high likelihood that in a defensive situation where your heart rate's elevated and everything's going to crap, that your grouping will increase, okay? That's why we try to keep it in the A zone. 2, if you're already in the A zone, given unlimited time, right, with no stress, what's going to end up happening is that if you're in a real world situation, your grouping will significantly increase, right? Maybe even past the person's torso or away from his body. And that can create issues because, as we all know, whether you're law enforcement or a civilian shooter, any rounds fired has a lawyer behind it, and rounds landing not in the target is a big liability. All right, guys, so now we're going to go ahead and demonstrate what combat accuracy and also unlimited time or precision accuracy is, okay? So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to shoot 5 rounds, attempting to put all that into that red circle right there. All right, so 5 rounds, unlimited time. I definitely have some low shots out there, right? So I got 2 shots right here, still obviously in the square, but not perfect shots. But then after the first and 2 shots, I was able to adjust myself and boom, 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 3 shots all in that little small square. Now, what does this demonstrate, right? Well, let's say, for example, you're in a situation where you have to take a low percentage shot, right? So you went from bad guy's chest to now they're taking a hostage or they're hiding behind cover, and you now have to quote unquote take your time and get your hits properly. Hence why, given unlimited time, you should be able to do this, Because imagine if you have to take a hostage shot or a target behind cover, and then you tell yourself, cool, I'm gonna take my time, and yet you still can't attain this much accuracy, then you're putting yourself in a situation where you're only good when the bad guy is out in the open. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and do the build drill, okay? It says 6 rounds from the holster as fast as you can. The goal time is 2 seconds. We'll see if I make it, okay?
Shooter, are you ready?
Yeah. What was the time?
Yeah, you put an extra round.
Oh, okay. 306, yeah. So clearly, what was my 6th round, by the way?
Looking 275.
Okay. So my 6th round came in at 275. Clearly, Brendon needs more training, but absolutely something that you can get on. One thing that did intimidate the out of me, though, to be honest with you, was 1, 7 yards, right? 2, keeping it on an IDPA A zone. Now let's talk about the difference there. Now, typically when you buy a target, there's usually 2 that you're gonna see, okay? So come up right here, this should be USPSA, and then you got your IDPA circle right here. Then I put 7 rounds apparently, right, around here. But my goal was to keep the dot anywhere in this A zone right here, and that's what I did, right? But this highlight though, that I do need more training with my Glock. So now this is acceptable standards, and when it comes to the accuracy portion of it, right? Time-wise, not too much, but this is something I can work on now. I know at 275, right, 6 rounds on an A zone is where I'm at. So therefore, something that I can do is attempt to reduce that time, but still maintain accuracy. If you can maintain the accuracy, even with your time a little bit over, that's okay, because now you know you can maintain accuracy. All you have to do now is speed up. Now, if your shots are out of the A zone, right, whether you be over the time or under the time, what you need to do is slow down and get your hits in. Because what you're doing is you're doing yourself a disservice and wasting rounds and not actually training to get 6 rounds in 2 seconds. We see clients hit all over this target and call it okay. But as we established earlier in this video, combat accuracy is still in the A zone. For us, combat accuracy is this, because we know under stress, there's a possibility that our grouping can increase. And then if I'm shooting this with less stress, under stress, hopefully my round can still stay within the boundary of the target, right? The mistake here is to hit all over the place with no stress and assume that under stress and under duress, you're gonna shoot the exact same way, which you probably won't. And what's gonna end up happening is if this is your target, combat, quote unquote, combat accurate zone, and then you're under stress, then you're likely gonna be shooting around the target instead of at the target.
If you think all gun laws are an infringement and you live behind the enemy lines in the People's Republic of California, then check out our Unconvicted Felons t-shirt. We came out with this t-shirt design for you where most of us are fed up with the situation here in California. So check it out. Check out our website. Awesome t-shirt coming at you. And our new line of 2 arms where it stands for 2A Rights Matter. So check out our new t-shirt and help us feed our dog.